Here are the top 3 male strip shows in Las Vegas as rated by the Yelp community. So number 1 on the list, we have Aussie Heat. Aussie Heat is a relatively new show to Las Vegas, and it was introduced from Australia down into, initially, the D Hotel in downtown. They stayed there for about 3 to 4 months until they moved to Planet Hollywood Casino, in which they now have a permanent residency in the V Theatre. Aussie Heat is a strip show that has a good mix of youth and experience. They also place a high emphasis on having their show acceptable for people of all genders and all sexual orientations. The show advertises itself as being very hands-on and very up close and personal. And you can see this in the 2 to 3 breaks throughout the whole entire show, in which all the performers come off stage and walk amongst the crowd members, in which the crowd members can then get interactive in the show and tip the performers with their own unique currency called hunk bucks. The show is an intimate one with a theatre capacity of about a few hundred people. All in all, it's a pretty cool show. The lighting is adequate. There's a lot of theatrical elements to the show that keep it driving forward, and they place a high emphasis on being a show that has a mix of breakdancing, hip hop and stripping. They like to also advertise themselves as dancers first who strip rather than strippers. If you wanted to see a show that was like the Jabberwockies meets the Chippendales and came together and had a love child, that would be Aussie Heat. Second on the list, we have Thunder from Down Under, hosted at the Excalibur Casino in the Thunder from Down Under showroom. Now, when you have an actual showroom that is designed and built for the show itself by the casino, you can be pretty sure that that theatre is going to have some amazing lighting and some amazing theatrical elements. Not to mention, there are trampolines on either side of the stage in which the performers regularly jump and do somersaults on and off the stage. The routines, the costumes and the props are out of this world in this show. They're world class and there's nothing quite like it. The choreography is quite traditional rather than hip hop orientated, with more of a focus on jazz style dance moves, and it's more easier for the traditional strippers of this show to learn. The actual performers in this show, the majority of them are actually not trained dancers and they're strippers first. But one thing's for sure, if you see Thunder from Down Under, you can be guaranteed you're gonna see tanned, ripped and shredded 6-foot Aussie men all over the stage. They have quite a decent amount of crowd interaction and the audience really does love it, but they really don't get quite as up close and personal as Aussie Heat do. Thunder from Down Under also has a couple of touring teams that tour the world in all sorts of venues in all sorts of places. They're well established, they have a very good management, and overall they're quite a solid show. Week in, week out, you know you're going to get a consistent performance from all their performers. And number 3 on the list, we have Magic Mike Live, made and created by Channing Tatum. Although I must say, hardly any of the creative process actually came from him, but more so from the actual choreographers and the show managers that he actually employed. Now, having said that, this show is still quite good. This show is a little bit different from Thunder Down Under and also Aussie Heat. Aussie Heat is more of a hip hop strip show. Thunder from Down Under is more of the classic strip show, but Magic Mike Live places an emphasis on individual talents and more of a circus act. So if you were to imagine Cirque du Soleil meets Chippendales and they came together, then you would get Magic Mike. Instead of having an emphasis on the breakdancing and stripping like in Aussie Heat, or the traditional jazz style dance moves that you would see in Thunder from Down Under, in Magic Mike Live, you're going to see great individual performances. You're going to see a lot of talent. You'll see drum players, break dancers, you'll see people that will play electric guitar, sing. There's a lot of different variety of talents that they demonstrate throughout their show. So if you wanted to see a lot of variety with your strip performance and a little bit less focus on the stripping and more focus on the variety, then Magic Mike Live would be a great choice for you. Magic Mike Live also has a world first unique way of presenting their show, being it a 360 stage. So the stage is actually in the middle of the theatre and all the other seats are around. This makes for quite an interesting viewing experience because it's more interactive and there's better viewpoints for everybody in the show rather than just a select few at the front in a traditional theatre. Having said that, at some points in the routines, there is some things that only certain points of the room can view from front on, and it's quite hard for the entertainers to make sure there's a good point of viewing for every person in the room throughout their whole routine. That's the top 3 male strip shows for Las Vegas. I hope this gives you a little bit of a better idea of what's out there, the pros and the cons, and all in all, these are 3 great shows, so no matter which one you pick, I'm sure you're gonna have a great time. See you later.